people on the autism spectrum, people with disabilities in general, are more vulnerable to all kinds of abuse and being victimized than the general population. And one of the things that families and individuals can tell you if you ask is that oftentimes the people who perpetrate abuse are people who are tasked with providing help and support. And oftentimes some of the most abusive situations that we endure are when we seek help from the system that is supposed to provide supports for us. Oftentimes we encounter a system that is set up for us rather than by us, and we have to endure processes that aren't designed to meet our needs, but are whatever purpose they're designed for. They're not informed by the experience of the people who actually have to use them. And we end up having to jump through all sorts of hoops to get the supports that are promised to us. And, oftentimes there's a carrot and stick approach where people with disabilities, we get a lot of the stick, but we don't get a whole lot of the carrot. We have to deal with a lot of, here, fill out these forms, and if you don't fill out these forms, you aren't going to get the supports that you need. Or, you have to comply with this long checklist of things, or you aren't going to get the services that we said we would give you. And a lot of people and a lot of families are crushed by the burden of the threat of that carrot and stick approach. Because for a lot of us, we get the stick, and the carrot is about yay big. And by the time they're done beating you over the head with the stick, you're like, dude, this carrot's not worth it. So that's an issue that advocates need to work to address. It's an issue that I'm working to address, this carrot and stick approach where families and individuals with disabilities, oftentimes we get the big stick shaken at us, and we get lots of do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and when you're done, then you can get some supports, but you can only use them in this limited circumstance. When actually what we need is the freedom to be able to meet the needs of ourselves and our loved ones in a variety of circumstances. So, folks, the power brokers, the people who are writing all of these rules and making all of these threats and putting into place all of these constraints that put the supports out of the reach of the people who need them, guess what, guys? I'm not putting up with that. Not for myself, not for my children, not for anyone else with a disability who needs the support to live their lives. And I haven't found the names of the people yet, but some folks are going to be hearing about it. But this is completely inappropriate. It's completely inappropriate to treat people this way. And the constant threat of you have to do this and jump through this hoop and fill out this form and do this and repeatedly do this and this and this and this. Otherwise, you're not getting the stuff that we said we would give you, and you're not getting the help that we said we would give you, and you're not getting the support that we said we would give you. Yeah, that doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for anybody else. And well, no. We're not doing that. And particularly in New York State, this is a chronic problem. And, there are a lot of people who talk a good game and you're like, we're all about people first and we're doing this and we're putting all this stuff, in place to support people with disabilities. But when it comes to the actual person who needs the help, who needs the support and their actual families, yeah, buckets. So there are a lot of structural changes and systemic changes that need to be made, and the voices of the people who have to live with all of this stuff need to be heard, and families and individuals must have a seat at the table when all of these things are being decided, rather than, we hear, oh, look, we've done this thing for you. Aren't you so happy? That's not the way that works, guys. It's not the way that works, no. So that's something that I'll be working on, and you'll be hearing more about it as this process develops and moves along. Definitely going to be talking more about autism and mental health resources, and where are those resources? And let's go ahead and start marshaling all the money that's flying around in the state. Let's bring some of that to bear to make sure that people with disabilities and developmental disabilities have appropriate mental health care. And all the money that's flying around and all the brain power that we have, let's bring some of that to bear to make sure that we are effectively delivering services and supports without placing undue burdens on families and individuals, without the big stick, threatening people with loss of their services and supports. And you know what? We can do this. We can support people with disabilities and maintain some basic human kindness, some basic human dignity, and basically not be jerks about it. Yeah, we can do that. I have faith that the people in New York State can pull it off. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day.